when it hit about 2 minutes to go, I'm like, I'm going to take the stairs and I'm going to stand in the stands, at least in one of the, everybody was standing. So it didn't matter if I was in the walkways or not. And I just wanted to soak in Iserman and the cup coming out. I wanted to see it in person. I wanted to see an actual championship in person. And then
welcome to the Visibility Room, on air and off script. Hey, everybody. It's Karyl Morris here at the Image Impact Group and the Visibility Room, on air and off script. And I have with me today Matt Dery. Matt, welcome.
Karyl, can you believe we're actually doing this? It's so exciting. I come down to your lair here in Detroit.
The lair.
It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Great to be with you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. So give everybody kind of the 411 about what you're doing now, because you've got a storied past, and we're going to get into that. But where are you now, and who are you working with?
So I have been with financial architects for going on six or 7 years. No, I'm not going to do this whole 6-7 thing. Yeah. Sydney's laughing back there. But in all honesty, running marketing and business development for this financial firm that my wife and I got to know and have become clients at since 2011. But my background was radio, sports, and everything else. And we've started a couple of other companies since then, a succession planning firm called Q5 Experience over the years. And then recently, we're kind of rolling out Freedom First Pathway, or FFP, working with owners, kind of on helping them align their life, wealth, and business kind of all in one place. Perfect. As you know, as a business owner, you are overwhelmed with so much going on and a lot of fragmentation. So the opportunity to work with owners to kind of align everything all in one spot is what we've been doing.
Excellent. Yeah. We're going to dive more into that, but first we have to do the rapid fire questions. You ready?
We're doing this like right away.
Yeah,
a lot of pressure.
We're into the fire. You came to the lair, now we're in the fire.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, what's the first impression you want people to have of you?
Oh, goodness. I would say inviting. I'm a connector. I like connecting people, and friendly and unselfish.
Oh, I like that. All right. Favorite. This is going to be so obvious, but favorite way to connect, digitally or in person?
In person, 100%.
All the way.
Yes.
How did you survive COVID?
Obviously, a lot of Zoom meetings and a few masked meetings, but it was hard. It was definitely difficult. Yeah.
It's rough. Like when you're a people person and you get the energy from the people in the room. Yeah. Screen does not help.
No, for sure.
All right. What builds credibility faster? Expertise, presence, or consistency?
I would say consistency.
Okay.
I think I would put transparency in there. But if you're dealing with folks that 1 minute are acting a certain way and the next minute not, and it's a guessing game, it's uncomfortable. And you don't want to be around those people. I always talk about KLT. You want to work with people that you know, like, and trust. If they're consistent, makes it easier for you to do business with them or to be social with them.
Yeah, absolutely. So because you're in the marketing and business development lane, how do you think that transfers over to the digital space, the consistency?
That's a good question. I mean, now everybody's upping their game. I mean, look where we are today, and what you've put together is fantastic. People want to see it on video. Their attention spans are low. So when you tell people, hey, I did this podcast with Matt Dery or Deborah or Amber or any of the people that you've had on your show, they're probably going to want to see those clips first and foremost, just because of our attention spans. But if it's consistent and your name is out there and you're transparent, you're like, hey, I'm Karyl and I like talking to people. You make it inviting. I mean, when you asked for me to be on the show and Sydney and I connected about this was a no-brainer, just because I find you to be you're consistent, you're friendly, and everybody raves about you. So here I am.
Well, thank you. All right. What's the number one trust killer that you see?
Number one trust killer? I would say follow-up is a killer, especially when you have folks that say, I'll be there at 4:00, or let's talk at 5, or let's put something on the calendar, and then they're not there, or to me, that hurts credibility and trust when there's not that when on there. We always talk about how and why and what and who you're talking to, but when are we going to get this done? Is there a deadline? accountability, huge
Yeah.
for me.
I'm a big one on too, when you have a conversation with somebody, even if it's not top of mind for them, the next step,
Yeah,
get it in the books, man. I mean, even if
exactly.
you pencil it in, you have to shift it, but at least get it in the books. I mean, leaving a call and not having a next step there's a killer right there of a deal.
Yeah, and you use the term trust killer. I'm not sure if it's a killer, and if someone says, "Oh my gosh, we had this meeting and I blew it off," or
Yeah.
I know I was on Teams at 3:10 and it was at 3:00 and I was
Right.
late. But it definitely puts it in the back of your mind. Would I want to work with this person? Would I want to be around this person
Yeah.
if they're not accountable?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
those are always
Yeah. So,
tough
all right,
ones.
last question.
Yes.
And that is, what is a leadership lesson that you have carried through?
Communication. I'm big on. I think leaders, whether it's companies, whether it's managers, coaches, obviously my sports background, communication is everything. If
Yeah.
you're a coach, you see what JB Bickerstaff has done with the Pistons this year. The guys seem to trust him and like him. The previous coach was an absolute disaster when it came to communication. You had a player that would play 40 minutes one night and then would be benched the next.
Yeah.
Same thing with companies. You want the leaders to be transparent and communicate.
Right.
I was just at an event the other day. They were talking about these huddles. Do you have a daily huddle where quickly, even for 10, 15 minutes, everybody gets together. Here's what we're working on today. What's going on here? And if there are deeper conversations, those lead to one-on-ones.
Right.
But I like that kind of communication. I think that's key.
I love that.
Yeah.
You touched on something that I want to dig into a little bit
Sure.
more, which is the fact that you are a sports guy and
I
your
am.
history is sports radio, sports broadcasting, the whole 9 yards. So how did you end up in the finance world?
I know, people ask that all the time. I still do this Lockdown Lions podcast,
Yeah.
which is a daily show, which I've been doing for 10 years, and I love it, and it keeps me in it. I do it from home. It's on video and audio, wherever you get your podcast. So I still scratch that sports and radio itch
Yeah.
by doing about a 27 to 32-minute show a day, talking about the team that is easily the most popular in this town, and that is the Detroit Lions. I mean, football is king, as you know, Karyl, but for me, 2016, I was on the radio. I was at a fledgling second sports station called Detroit Sports 105.1. The station, quite honestly, sucked. We all got fired, and it went under. And it's been old school rap and hip hop and R&B for the last basically 10 years.
Well, they were competing against a ticket, right?
And they were competing against a ticket. I had left the ticket to go to 105.1. I decided to try something new and have my own show on the middays. And that midday show was fun. I got moved to afternoons. That wasn't so fun. And station just failed. And so I got let go. My wife's birthday in March of 2016. We were supposed to go to Traverse City. We did go to Traverse City to all the wineries and stuff. Spend the weekend up there for her birthday on a Friday. I got fired at 5:00 on a Friday. The jackass program director took me I walk out of the studio like I'm leaving. I'm going to go pick my wife up. We're going to drive up to TC. And instead I got let's go for a walk routine and the brown envelope in the conference room with our general manager and controller. And
Nice.
I kind of drove home that day to pick my wife up and was like, I think it might be time to do something else. I don't know if I want to be in this radio business anymore. And I'd had a pretty decent career and had a lot of fun, or whether it was working for the Pistons or University of Detroit, Ticket, DFN, worked with Stoney Wojo, Valenian Foster. I mean, some of the greats. But it was probably time to do something else. So I taught for 3 years at U of D Jesuit High School, communications, journalism.
Oh, cool.
Ran the Cub broadcast, the Cub Sportscast. I loved it.
Yeah.
I actually thought this is where I was going to retire and stay. It was rewarding. I loved the kids. The parents were great. It's a super place. But just in a meeting with some folks at Financial Architects, because we were clients there, they asked me what I knew about marketing. I said a lot. I was in radio for many years, and they brought me in and taught me the financial business as well as kind of helping run their marketing and business development. And so I love it. I've been there for, like I said, 7 years, and it's been a lot of fun. So that's how I kind of got into it. They came to me and had some good conversations with them and thought it would be a fit to try that out. So here I am.
And I can tell too, you and I just met a couple weeks ago, but our initial conversation, I could tell the passion of which you speak about them and how they've done so well by you and your wife. And it was such a natural way to just jump in there and take a chance doing something else. Kudos to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now, you go from radio now into the financial, and now there's another entity forming
Yes.
which is FFP, which
Right.
stands for
Freedom First Pathway.
Yes.
Yes. Working with owners, like I said before, look, there is a missed space in this marketplace, and really nationally, and when an owner is feeling like, all right, I've got 3 to 5 years left, or maybe 10 years, but I don't feel like I've got all my ducks in a row here. And then things are like we talked about. There's an owner's burden that is growing with them in terms of, oh my goodness, I've got one advisor, my CPA telling me one thing. We're recording here around tax season, April 15th. So I got my tax person telling me one thing. I've got my financial advisor, she's telling me another thing. My M&A attorney neighbor is like, you should be. It's a lot. It's a lot. What if you could kind of align everything in one place? And there's a law component with Jacqueline from our team. There's a husband and wife behavioral neuroscience component. So
love that.
If you're feeling overwhelmed and you maybe don't have a therapist or that's maybe not for you, but you want to have that personal touch and conversation about, hey, where am I at professionally here? And what if my son is ready to take over the business, but hey, guess what? We talked to the son separately and he doesn't want it, but he has a hard time looking at dad who has, changed his diaper, sent him to Cranbrook, sent him to Michigan and made him VP at 23. That's hard to have that conversation. Right. We can help with that. Yeah. We can help with that transition. And that's, it's kind of been something that we've been working on really the last few years with Q5. The Q5 now is going to go from really more of a company to the platform for the succession side. But as far as owner readiness, owner's burden, and working with these folks on that, we're here for them.
I think it's so cool too, because like you said, there's so many moving parts when you're a founder. There's so many moving parts. And whether you've got a staff of 5 or you've got a staff of 500, there's a lot to think of. And it's also part of you, man. I mean, like, this is something that you grew from the ground up. And so when you start thinking about what happens next, or all of a sudden find yourself in a position where you don't even like your business anymore, that feels awful. And so in talking to you and talking to Edward a little bit, I just think that the whole premise is really exciting, because you guys are filling in some components and some gaps that I think are really, really necessary in the neuroscience part of it. Brilliant.
Thank you. Yeah, Danette and John on our team are really, really good. And Chris Cousins is kind of the quarterback of this thing. I mentioned Jacqueline before, and Edward. It's a really good team, and kind of building and growing this out because we just saw a need, like we said, in the marketplace to do something like this, where, like you said, if an owner is having this feeling, he or she, about how they're going about their business, and it's just not rewarding anymore, or they are overwhelmed.
Right.
And, where are they supposed to go? Yes, absolutely. If they have a financial advisor, they have that conversation. Like I said before, the CPAs are very busy in helping. But what if there was a place, us, that you could, kind of talk to and realize, all right, there's some gaps that I need to fill up. There's some blind spots that I have, that when I go home and talk about my business with my husband or my wife, they're going to be listening. Yeah. They might, some, including my own wife, would say, you have this blind spot, work on it. Well, how do you do that?
Yeah.
That's what we,
and when somebody is really close to you, sometimes we tune them out because we think that they don't really understand.
Right.
And having somebody with quote unquote no skin in the game, right, that can look at it through clear eyes.
Right.
I think that's really amazing. And then the other thing that I think is so cool about the whole premise of the thing is that it really, again, gives that 360 look at where your business is versus where it could be, where it should be. And then you as an owner get to decide what's next for you rather than being told what's next for you because it failed.
Yeah. Yes.
You get to decide. And, kind of on that note, and one of the things that I bonded with Edward over is the premise of putting everything under one roof. That's one of the things that we've strived to do here at the Visibility Room and the Image Impact Group, is make sure that the left hand and the right hand know what's happening so that the outcome is better. And it's just nice to be able to make one call and have many things done. And I think that's what you guys are providing. And
I appreciate
amazing.
that.
Yeah.
And with you, Karyl, obviously in some of our conversations and some of our mutual friends that we have, the fact that this can be a cool space for you down here, I say down because I was coming from Macomb County, but in all seriousness, a group of women that can get together and talk. If you want to do the podcast, you can do that here. You're offering these services where there's more of that one-stop shop mentality now that people want. And, again, the name, freedom, we want these owners to eventually live that life of freedom, and they don't have the pathway to do it.
Yeah.
And so that's hence why the name was sort of born, and we're running with it.
Yeah, I love it. Well, one of the things that I know about you, Matt, is that you are a very busy man. Very busy manning. Obviously we're all connected on LinkedIn, which is, platform of choice for most of us, right? When it comes to business. How are you managing your online presence on LinkedIn and then also being in person so many places? Because I know that that's one of the things that you love and that you're really good at is making sure that you are, like we said earlier, tangible in person, not just digitally. Yeah.
It's hard. And I get asked to come to a lot of events, which I think is cool. And there's some great organizations. I'm a proud chamber ambassador at the Troy Chamber of Commerce. It's unbelievable people. Construction Association of Michigan, CAM, Kevin and Tracy and that crew are phenomenal people. And we like getting in front of construction owners. So yes, I am still out trying to get business.
Yeah.
That's business development. That's what that is. But I have found over the last few years, I have folks coming up to me saying, oh my gosh, like you're all over LinkedIn and you're everywhere. Because we have these computers in our hands.
Yeah.
And they're also cameras. And so to me, if I'm at an event, people make fun. They'll say, oh, Matt Dery wants to take another selfie with me. I'm actually thinking in my head, all right, I want to be at this event. I want to help promote the folks that are there. I became the head of the ambassadors this year, the chair for the ambassadors this year. And one thing I told Amalia at Troy Chamber was let's do something where we make the other ambassadors at least try to repost some of the chamber's events and their posts on our own LinkedIn page in order to get more eyeballs on it. To me, I want to help other people. I want to network and promote. If I'm at an event, it's not about, oh, I'm in every picture.
Right.
It's, hey, I tag in some folks that I think people should see. Hey, I saw you tagged, Scott McInerney, who's a chamber friend in the insurance business. How well do you know him? That's how you do business. And like I said, know, like, and trust and connecting.
Yeah.
So I try to do that. And yes, I am exhausted. My wife, I would say 2-3 times a year, my wife, Heather, will say, are you, oh my gosh, I looked at your schedule this week. You're way too much stuff. Cause then I get home and do my Lions show. So there are some long days, but I really enjoy it. And I like being around people. And I think it's helping the companies too.
Yeah. I always say rather busy than bored.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah. And there's so many cool things to do, whether it's here in the city of Detroit or Troy or wherever. And, we were locked away for, way too long. So I think I feel it when people come in here, they're like, oh, thank God we're like fully back in action and getting the energy from one another. I think that's huge.
It is.
Huge,
and for you to be down here, like we said, in the city, Karyl, is awesome. I think. Yeah. Certainly, every city has some amazing suburbs, whether you're going north, west, or east. Here in Detroit, or heck, if you're going south to Windsor, got to shout out our friends in Canada. I love Canada. But to be back in the city, my goodness, I mean, your space here is awesome. And just the vibe in this town is unreal. You and I were talking when I walked in here, but in 1996, in August, I moved here to work at Sports Radio 1130 WDFN. Our building was across the street, Joseph Campo and Woodbridge, in this tiny garage. The old W4 building was the house next door. That was where Howard Stern worked for country.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. W4 Country many years before I got here. Wow. When he was in Detroit, but we were in this garage, but I drove by your building because of course I missed it, but there's so many more things. Like there's so many more places to eat. Yeah. I mean, if we had all the food down here on Jefferson, I probably would have gained 10 more pounds working at the radio station here. But it's cool. You see the dynamics of being in the city. And I think it's great that you're down here.
Well, speaking of the city, I have my magic bowl here.
Oh, here we go.
And in this bowl are some questions maybe about the city, maybe about something completely irrelevant. So I'm going to let you pick.
Okay.
And if I don't like what you picked, I'll pick.
I love this. Okay.
But I will say I have chicken scratch, so you can just hand it to me.
I'm reading your writing?
No, you can just hand it to me and I'll read my writing. Otherwise, we might be here all day.
I didn't bring my readers.
Exactly.
I'm in my 50s now, Karyl, so I got to have my readers.
Oh, I like this one.
Okay.
What's a lesson you learned the hard way?
Oh, gosh. What's the lesson? What's a lesson I learned the hard way? I was very young when I got married the first time.
Oh.
And, we don't need to go into the whole divorce discussion. It's been 20 years actually. And like I said, I got remarried in 2011, but, a lot of times I did hear folks tell me, and it wasn't we're warning you, don't get married but the notion of, your brain's not really fully formed till you're like 26.
Yeah.
And, I was rushing into a lot of things when I was younger because I was hungry. I wanted to be on the radio, and I was on the radio as a college student at 19 years of age at Syracuse. Wow. So the minute I got out of school, my parents, I don't remember if it was my mom or my dad, were like, would you ever want to maybe take a gap year, or would you want to go like see the world, or maybe even go overseas or check out Europe or something? I'm like, no. I got to find that first radio job. It ended up being in Cleveland for a year, then Detroit. Been here ever since, like I said. And so I kind of learned the hard way that I rushed some things when I was younger, including, look, I've got 2 beautiful children from my first wife, but I was probably so young and dumb as a 24, 25-year-old that I didn't take my time. And now I tell my son's going to be 25 in May, and you're in no rush to do this or do that.
Yeah.
Enjoy
it.
Your younger years before. And I think I kind of learned that the hard way.
Yeah. Before your knees hurt.
Right. Exactly.
That's me every day.
Yes. We're doing another one?
Yeah.
How many of these are we doing?
To do here, man. I don't know. I hope that's not the same one I just put back in. Let's see.
Your writing is immaculate.
Well,
is that cursive?
No.
Maybe it is chicken scratch.
All right. Can I read it? Let's see. What's something you're wildly unqualified to give advice on?
Ooh.
Unqualified. Yep.
Home building, construction, handyman things. When it comes to, like, I know about the sump pump. That's a big thing at our house.
That's a good thing.
I'm kind of a sump pump expert. I know about our backup. I know I've got to pour some bleach down there pretty much once a month to make sure that things get clean. But when it comes to being handy and, hey, we're going to redo the roof.
Yeah.
You're not going to see Matt Dery up there.
Not your gig,
no,
huh?
Not at all.
Okay. Oh, all right. This is the perfect one. And I didn't even cheat. I actually really pulled it.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yes.
A Detroit moment that you'll never forget.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I feel like it's got to be about sports.
Yeah.
Please make it
there are
sports.
a couple. There are definitely a couple. I was in the building in '97 when the Red Wings won the cup. I was working at WDFN. And
awesome.
Growing up in Cleveland where we never won anything. I mean, they finally had won a championship in Cleveland in 2016 with the Cavs, but as a big Guardians/Indians fan, we have never won it. And since 48, my father was 6 years old at the time. And so to be covering the Wings team that finally had won the cup in '97, there were way too many seats in the press box for us radio guys come cup finals to be there. So we were basically down in the bowels of Joe Louis Arena. But when it hit about 2 minutes to go, I'm like, I'm going to take the stairs and I'm going to stand in the stands, at least in one of the, everybody was standing. So it didn't matter if I was in the walkways or not. And I just wanted to soak in Yzerman and the cup coming out. I wanted to see it in person. I wanted to see an actual championship in person. And then the 04 Piston team, I was doing the pre and post game shows on the radio for 12 years. Our third year on the radio doing the Pistons when I was at DFN, they won the championship. So that was a really unbelievable memory. Post game show probably didn't come on until 12:30, and it got to about 3:30 in the morning, and we're like, why don't we just go till 6 a.m.? Like, there's no point in only doing a couple hours. So we went until 6 in the morning when the morning show came on. So I went home and went to sleep that day. But those are just two memories that I think are pretty cool that I always remember.
Well, you know who's left out of that championship, don't you?
The Lions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Guess what's going to happen this year?
Are you calling it?
I'm calling it.
Super Bowl champs?
Super Bowl champs.
Karyl Morris. All right.
Why not?
I'm going to have to mention that on Locked On Lions today.
Oh, my God.
I was talking to my friend Karyl Morris, and she says the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl. Do you have a reason, or you just think it's time?
No, it's just time.
Are you a sports fan?
I am a Red Wings diehard fan, but I became a Lions fan 2 years ago.
So you've hopped on the bandwagon.
Of course. Yeah.
Look, most Lions fans have been through it, you know, and they really have. And it's incredible the amount of folks I talked to that said, oh, my dad had the tickets, or passing them down, or I was at the 0, I went. I didn't miss a game when they went 0-16. I'm still here. was interesting when I was doing the pod and the Patricia and Quinn era from a few years ago, 5-6 years ago. I had a lot of listeners that found me and said, I stopped listening. And I'm like, what did I do? And they're like, no, it's not you.
Not you.
The team is so unlikable. And the general manager is so smarmy and the head coach is such a jerk that they were done.
Yeah.
And then obviously the new regime with Sheila and Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes and everybody and Chris Spielman, they've done a great job.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
people are energized. I mean, they went 9-8 last year and people are pissed that they didn't make the playoffs and finished with a winning record, but still was disappointing. So I'm with you. I think they'll bounce back, but not ready to call my shot yet on Super Bowl. But
well, you know what? I am an eternal optimist.
All right. I like that.
And when the Red Wings lost Yzerman, I remember my friend was like, they're never going to be anything without Yzerman. I said, they're going to win the cup. And lo and behold, they won the cup.
They did. They won a couple without him.
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
yes, they
for
did.
sure. Are you angry? Are you ticked off right now? Because this has not been good.
Well, here's the thing. So my son played college hockey. So for the last 5 years, I've watched him. And so I have not watched a lot of Red Wings games. I haven't been really in tune with it in the last couple of years because I'm busy. But this is my first year as a non-hockey mom, so I got to get back on the
Where did he play?
Arizona State.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, they have hockey out there?
They do. They have
It's 1,000
D1 hockey in the desert.
Wow.
Yes.
That is really cool.
Yeah, it was very cool.
I
It was
did not know
was
that.
fun. It was a great way to spend his years.
Oh my God. That school. They have a good time out there. I have had some former students that went to ASU and they can party out there. Oh my gosh, that's a fun place.
Oh my God.
I love it.
Well, and as far as the Pistons go, I was a bad boys era. Pistons. So I used my very first dog was named Joey Dumars.
That was the name of the dog?
Yeah.
Full name? I like
Joey
that.
Dumars Morris, yes.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's really cool. Yeah. Legend. I mean, Joe, obviously won a championship as a player and as an executive with the team. And amazing that those memories of the
oh my God.
how likable the bad boys era and obviously the going to work teams and now this team this year is really good.
Yeah.
Really
it's
good.
amazing.
It's nice to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Sydney's husband who works for the Pistons.
Yes.
Woo, woo.
Yes. And Sydney as well. She's with the Crews and a part of the Piston family. So there's nothing.
Absolutely.
They all ride
You guys
together.
can't see her, but she's doing all the magic behind this podcast. And right
She
now
is.
she's turning bright red.
Oh, geez.
And sweating up a storm because
That's
we're
what I
talking
do.
about her.
Yeah, of course. That's you got to shout out. I mean, she's going to be busy. They're going to make her work. Oh, she's giving us the wrap
Now
up
she's
sign.
wrapping us up.
They're going to make her work during the playoffs. It's going to be busy, but it'll be fun down at the LCA. So.
Oh my God, too funny. Well, Matt, like you said when you first walked in, we could probably make this 2 hours.
I know.
But I commit to not doing that to poor Sydney.
Carol, I appreciate being here. This was a lot of fun, and
absolutely.
I've obviously caught some of the previous episodes of some of our mutual buddies, and those are great people. So they were all saying, "You don't know Karyl Morris?" I said, "I don't." There's somebody you actually don't know. I said, "I don't." And
I was incognito for a couple of years. I'm back.
checked you out, and people need to like and follow and check out everything that Carol does. So.
Well, thank you. Gosh,
Absolutely.
well, I don't need to wrap this up because Matt just did it for me. So thank
There
you
you
so
go.
much.
You're welcome.
But yeah, everybody that's out there, thank you for dropping by and make sure to watch Matt's show as well. Connect with him on LinkedIn. Look for him out and about because he is probably there.
I need to crash one of your women's events down here.
Oh my
where
God.
like the one guy could walk in and go, "Hey,
Yeah. Hey, Matt's here.
right." I'd love to hang out sometime.
There you go. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure to like and follow, as Matt said, and we will see you another time.